بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد يا دائم الفضل على البرية، يا باسط اليدين بالعطية، يا صاحب المواهب السنية، صل على محمد وآله خير الورى سجيا، واغفر لنا يا ذا العلا في هذه العشية. اللهم إني أسألك برحمتك التي وسعت كل شيء، وبقوتك التي قهرت بها كل شيء، وخضع لها كل شيء، وذل لها كل شيء، وبجبروتك التي غلبت بها كل شيء، وبعزتك التي لا يقوم لها شيء، وبعظمتك التي ملأت كل شيء، وبسلطانك الذي على كل شيء، وبوجهك الباقي بعد فناء كل شيء، وبأسمائك التي ملأت أركان كل شيء، وبعلمك الذي أحاط بكل شيء، وبنور وجهك الذي أضاء له كل شيء، يا نور يا قدوس، يا أول الأولين ويا آخر الآخرين. اللهم اغفر لي الذنوب التي تهتك العصام، اللهم اغفر لي الذنوب التي تنزل النقام، اللهم اغفر لي الذنوب التي تغير النعام، اللهم اغفر لي الذنوب التي تحبس الدعاء، اللهم اغفر لي الذنوب التي تنزل البلاء، اللهم اغفر لي كل ذنب أذنبته، وكل خطيئة أخطأتها، اللهم إني أتقرب إليك بذكرك، وأستشفع بك إلى نفسك، وأسألك بجودك أن تدنيني من قربك، وأن توزعني شكرك، وأن تلهمني ذكرك. اللهم إني أسألك سؤال خاضع متذلل خاشع أن تسامحني وترحمني وتجعلني بقسمك راضيا قانعا وفي جميع الأحوال متواضعا. اللهم وأسألك سؤال من اشتدت فاقته وأنزل بك عند الشدائد حاجته وعظم فيما عندك رغبته. اللهم عظم سلطانك وعلى مكانك وخفي مكرك وظهر أمرك وغلب قهرك وجرت قدرتك ولا يمكن الفرار من حكومتك. اللهم لا أجد لذنوبي غافرا ولا لقبائحي ساترا ولا لشيء من عملي القبيح بالحسن مبدلا غيرك. لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك وبحمدك. ظلمت نفسي وتجرأت بجهلي وسكنت إلى قديم ذكرك لي ومنك علي. اللهم مولاي كم من قبيح سترته وكم من فادح من البلاء أقلته وكم من عثار وقيته وكم من مكروه دفعته وكم من ثناء جميل لست أهلا له نشرته. اللهم عظم بلائي وأفرط بي سوء حالي وقصرت بي أعمالي وقعدت بي أغلالي وحبسني عن نفع بعد آمالي وخدعتني الدنيا بغرورها ونفسي بخيانتها ومطالي. يا سيدي فأسألك بعزتك فأسألك يا سيدي بعزتك ألا يحجب عنك دعائي سوء عملي وفعالي ولا تفضحني بخفي ما اطلعت عليه من سري ولا تعاجلني بالعقوبة على ما عملته في خلواتي من سوء فعلي وإساءتي ودوام تفريطي وجهالتي وكثرة شهواتي وغفلتي. وكن اللهم بعزتك لي في كل الأحوال رؤوفا، وعلي في جميع الأمور عطوفا. إلهي وربي من لي غيرك، إلهي وربي من لي غيرك. أسأله كشف ضري والنظر في أمري. إلهي ومولاي أجريت علي حكما اتبعت فيه هوى نفسي، ولم أحترز فيه من تزيين عدوي، فغرني بما أهوى وأسعده على ذلك القضاء، فتجاوزت بما جرى علي من ذلك بعض حدودك، وخالفت بعض أوامرك، فلك الحجة علي في جميع ذلك، ولا حجة لي فيما جرى علي فيه قضاؤك. وألزمني حكمك وبلاؤك، وقد أتيتك يا إلهي بعد تقصيري وإسرافي على نفسي، معتذرا نادما منكسرا مستقيلا مستغفرا منيبا مقرا مذعنا معترفا. لا أجد مفرا مما كان مني ولا مفزعا أتوجه إليه في أمري غير قبولك عذري وإدخالك إياي في سعة من رحمتك. اللهم فاقبل عذري وارحم شدة ضري، وفكني من شد وثاقي. يا رب ارحم ضعف بدني ورقة جلدي ودقة عظمي. يا من بدأ خلقي وذكري وتربيتي وبري وتغذيتي، هبني لابتداء كرمك وسالف برك بي. يا إلهي وسيدي وربي، أتراك معذبي بنارك بعد توحيدك وبعد من طوى عليه قلبي من معرفتك ولهج به لساني من ذكرك واعتقده ضميري من حبك، وبعد صدق اعترافي ودعائي خاضعا لربوبيتك، هيهات أنت أكرم من أن تضيع من ربيته أو تبعد من أدنيت أو تشرد من آويت أو تسلم إلى البلاء من كفيته ورحمته. وليت شعري يا سيدي وإلهي ومولاي أتسلط النار على وجوه خرت لعظمتك ساجدة، وعلى ألسن نطقت بتوحيدك صادقة، وبشكرك مادحة، وعلى قلوب اعترفت بإلهيتك محققة، وعلى ضمائر حوت من العلم بك حتى صارت خاشعة، وعلى جوارح سعت إلى أوطان تعبدك طائعة، وأشارت باستغفارك مذعنة. ما هكذا الظن بك، ولا أخبرنا بفضلك عنك يا كريم يا رب، وأنت تعلم ضعفي عن قليل من بلاء الدنيا وعقوباتها، وما يجري فيها من المكاره على أهلها، على أن ذلك بلاء ومكروه قليل مكثوه، يسير بقاؤه قصير مدته. فكيف احتمالي لبلاء الآخرة وجليل وقوع المكاره فيها، وهو بلاء تطول مدته ويدوم مقامه، ولا يخفف عن أهله، لأنه لا يكون إلا عن غضبك وانتقامك وسخطك، وهذا ما لا تقوم له السماوات والأرض. يا سيدي فكيف بي وأنا عبدك الضعيف الذليل الحقير المسكين المستكين. يا إلهي وربي وسيدي ومولاي، لأي الأمور إليك أشكو، ولما منها أضج وأبكي، لأليم العذاب وشدته أم لطول البلاء ومدته؟ فلئن صيرتني للعقوبات مع أعدائك، وجمعت بيني وبين أهل بلائك، وفرقت بيني وبين أحبائك وأوليائك، فهبني يا إلهي وسيدي ومولاي وربي. صبرت على عذابك، فكيف أصبر على فراقك؟ وهبني صبرت على حر نارك، فكيف أصبر عن النظر إلى كرامتك؟ أم كيف أسكن في النار ورجائي عفوك؟ فبعزتك يا سيدي ومولاي أقسم صادقا، لئن تركتني ناطقا لأضجن إليك بين أهلها ضجيج الآملين، ولأصرخن إليك صراخ المستصرخين، ولأبكين عليك بكاء الفاقدين، ولأنادينك أين كنت يا ولي المؤمنين، يا غاية آمال العارفين، يا غياث المستغيثين، يا حبيب قلوب الصادقين، ويا إله العالمين، أفتراك سبحانك يا إلهي وبحمدك تسمع فيها صوت عبد مسلم سجن فيها بمخالفته، وذاق طعم عذابها بمعصيته، وحبس بين أطباقها بجرمه وجريرته، وهو يضج إليك ضجيج مؤمن لرحمتك، ويناديك بلسان أهل توحيدك، ويتوسل إليك بربوبيتك. يا مولاي، فكيف يبقى في العذاب وهو يرجو ما سلف من حلمك؟ أم كيف تؤلمه النار وهو يأمل فضلك ورحمتك؟ أم كيف يحرقه لهيبها وأنت تسمع صوته وترى مكانه؟ أم كيف يشتمل عليه زفيرها وأنت تعلم ضعفه؟ أم كيف يتقلقل بين أطباقها وأنت تعلم صدقه؟ أم كيف تزجر زبانيتها وهو يناديك يا رب؟ أم كيف يرجو فضلك في عتقه منها فتتركه فيها؟ هيهات ما ذلك الظن بك، ولا المعروف من فضلك، ولا مشبه لما عملت به الموحدين من برك وإحسانك. فباليقين أقطع لولا ما حكمت به من تعذيب جاحديك، وقضيت به من إخلاد معانديك، لجعلت النار كلها بردا وسلاما، وما كانت لأحد فيها مقرا ولا مقاما، لكنك تقدست أسماؤك أقسمت أن تملأها من الكافرين من الجنة والناس أجمعين، وأن تخلد فيها المعاندين، وأنت جل ثناؤك قلت مبتدئا وتطولت بالإنعام متكرما، فمن كان مؤمنا كمن كان فاسقا لا يستوون. إلهي وسيدي، فأسألك بالقدرة التي قدرتها، وبالقضية التي حتمتها وحكمتها وغلبت من عليه أجريتها، أن تهب لي في هذه الليلة وفي هذه الساعة كل جرم أجرمت وكل ذنب أذنبت وكل قبيح أسررت وكل جهل عملته كتمته أو أعلنت، أخفيته أو أظهرت، وكل سيئة أمرت بإثباتها الكرام الكاتبين الذين وكلتهم بحفظ ما يكون مني، وجعلتهم شهودا علي مع جوارحي. وكنت أنت الرقيب علي من ورائهم والشاهد لما خفي عنهم، وبرحمتك أخفيت وبفضلك سترت، وأن توفر حظي من كل خير أنزلت، أو إحسان فضلت، أو بر نشرت، أو رزق تبسطه، أو ذنب تغفره، أو خطأ تستره. يا ربي يا ربي يا رب، يا إلهي وسيدي ومولاي ومالك رقي، يا من بيده ناصيتي، يا عليما بضري ومسكنتي، يا خبيرا بفقري وفاقتي. يا ربي يا ربي يا رب، أسألك بحقك وقدسك وأعظم صفاتك وأسمائك أن تجعل أوقاتي في الليل والنهار بذكرك معمورة، وبخدمتك موصولة، وأعمالي عندك مقبولة، حتى تكون أعمالي وأورادي كلها وردا واحدا، وحالي في خدمتك سرمدا. يا سيدي يا من عليه معولي، يا من إليه شكوت أحوالي، يا ربي يا ربي يا رب، قوي على خدمتك جوارحي، واشدد على العزيمة جوانحي، وهب لي الجد في خشيتك والدوام في الاتصال بخدمتك، حتى أسرح إليك في ميادين السابقين، وأسرع إليك في المبادرين، وأشتاق إلى قربك في المشتاقين، وأدنو منك دنو المخلصين، وأخافك مخافة الموقنين، وأجتمع في جوارك مع المؤمنين. اللهم ومن أرادني بسوء فأرده، ومن كادني فكده، واجعلني من أحسن عبيدك نصيبا عندك، وأقربهم منزلة منك، وأخصهم زلفة لديك، فإنه لا ينال ذلك إلا بفضلك، وجد لي بجودك، واعطف علي بمجدك، واحفظني برحمتك، واجعل لساني بذكرك لهجا، وقلبي بحبك متيما، ومن علي بحسن إجابتك، وأقلني عثرتي، واغفر زلتي، فإنك قضيت على عبادك بعبادتك، وأمرتهم بدعائك، وضمنت لهم الإجابة. فإليك يا ربي نصبت وجهي، وإليك يا ربي مددت يدي، فبعزتك استجب لي دعائي، وبلغني منايا، ولا تقطع من فضلك رجائي، واكفني شر الجن والإنس من أعدائي. يا سريع الرضا اغفر لمن لا يملك إلا الدعاء، فإنك فعال لما تشاء. يا من اسمه دواء، وذكره شفاء، وطاعته غنى، ارحم من رأس ماله الرجاء، وسلاحه البكاء. يا سابغ النعم، يا دافع النقم، يا نور المستوحشين في الظلم، يا عالما لا يعلم صل على محمد وآل محمد وافعل بما أنت أهله وصلى الله على رسوله والأئمة الميامين من آله وسلم تسليما كثيرا. اللهم صل
Hold it. There you go. Thank you. Salawat. Salawat. जब रिदा सर से छीनी मैं सदा देती रही तू न आया गाज़ी जब रिदा सर से छीनी मैं सदा देती रही तू न आया गाज़ी आले इमरान कहाँ और जिंदान कहाँ ये बहन कैद हुई तू न आया गाज़ी जब रिदा सर से छीनी मैं सदा देती रही तू न आया गाज़ी हमको पानी न मिले तेरी खुशबू तो रहे तेरे बाजू न कटे चाहे मशकी जाची दे ये मगर हो न सका तेरे बाजू है जुदा मुझ पे है तशना लबी तू न आया गाज़ी जब रिदा सर से छीनी मैं सदा देती रही तू न आया गाज़ी धूप में तू था शजर तुझसे आबाद था घर हे बेरहना मेरा सर क्या नहीं तुझको खबर ए अलमदार वफा इस बहन को बाखुदा तुझसे धारस थे बरी तू न आया गाज़ी जब रिदा सर से छीनी मैं सदा देती रही, तू ना आया सी। आगे ईशा में अलम लुट गए हैं ले हरम, रेत पर जलती हुई हो गया ठंडा आलम। पुरसा देने के लिए मुझसे मिलने के लिए आ गए बाबाली, तू ना आया सी। जब रिदा सर से छीनी मैं सदा देती रही, तो न आया ज़ी। क्या कहूँ शेरे मेरे बेरिदा हमको लिए, ये मुसलमान सारे शहर दर शहर गए। खिलकते कूफा कभी, खिलकते शाम कभी, और हम पे हंसी, तू न आया ज़ी। जब रिदा सर से छीनी मैं सदा देती रही, तू न आया ज़ी। कितनी बेबस थी बहन ए शहंशाह ए वफा, नाम ले ले के मेरा जब ये जालिम ने कहा। नाज था जिस पे तुझे अब बुलाओ ना उसे, और मैं रोती रही, तू न आया ज़ी। जब रिदा सर से छीनी मैं सदा देती रही, तू न आया ज़ी। कैद खाने में कज़ा जब सकीना को मिली, देखे कुर्ते का कफन बच्ची दफनाई गई। उस घड़ी नाम तेरा सूरते ना दे अली, दुख में दोहराती रही, तू न आया ज़ी। जब रिदा सर से छीनी मैं सदा देती रही तू न आया गाज़ी जब रिदा सर से छीनी मैं सदा देती रही तू न आया गाज़ी सलावत
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Can we have a loud salawat for both of our reciters today? Today's program was sponsored in the names of the marhumeens, whose names are on the screens outside. If you can take a moment to recite Surah Fatiha for them and all marhumeens. It's night 8 and we have lectures you can still sponsor on behalf of your marhumeen. You can do that again by looking at the screens, donating either via cash or card or scanning the QR code. We've also got a number of humanitarian relief initiatives. AMI have chosen Beach Charitable Trust to support Gaza, Yemen and Lebanon by providing medical aid and clean water and food. To donate in the foyer, you can donate in the foyer and scan the QR code. We also have the Ashura food drive, which has been organized by Time for Change in conjunction with Who's Hussein. That's on the Sunday 6th of July in Birmingham City Centre. You can donate via the QR code again on the screen, or if you want to make a cash donation, see Muhammad or Zinat Murti. There's loads of ways you can get involved with AMI, including looking at the screen to register yourself for interest of some of the courses. A lot of them have been booked, but if you scan the QR code, you'll get a reminder. And also, we've got a number of books on offer, including the new Charm of the Red Rose by Professor Abul Qasim Fanai, which is available in the foyer as well. Just some quick programming reminders. Tomorrow's program will start at 8:15. It's slightly different, so it's Qur'an, Maqtal recital, lecture, matam, ziyarat and refreshments, and then followed by Q&A at 10:30. We also have a kids workshop on Saturday 5th of July, and if you want to register your child who's either in reception all the way to year 2, you can do that at ami.is/Muharram-kids. Just some final housekeeping. At the back of the hall we've got fire exits, and also at the main entrance and also near the dining hall, the toilets at the end of the long corridor, and we've got segregated spaces for men, women and children in the conference room, which you might have to utilize today because there's a lot of people here. And also just a polite reminder about putting your phones on silent and keeping chatter to a minimum in and outside the hall, because the sound does carry. It's a beautiful building. Before we start with the lecture, can I ask you all, and I've brought backup today as well, right? So if I can ask you all to stand up and move as far forward as possible. I really don't want to have to ask Sheikh to pause the lecture and move people. Can I ask you to all stand up, recite 3 salawats and move as far forward as possible. Ladies as well, I think if you can move forward as well, you've got some other people joining. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Inshallah, if you learn anything either just from the lecture or from myself as well about moving forward, inshallah, from the next few nights, please just come to the front. It's a lot easier. Thank you so much, and I would like to welcome Sheikh with a loud salawat.
Can we recite Amma Yujib for the well-being of our dear brother Mushtaq Danji, and for our parental mothers who are not well, and for all those who are unwell. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Amman yujibul muttarra idha da'ahu wa yakshifu as-su. 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 رحم الله من قرأ الفاتحة. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الذي هدانا لهذا وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين شفيع ذنوبنا وطبيب نفوسنا وحبيب قلوبنا أبي القاسم محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين وأصحابه المنتجبين ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى قيام يوم الدين بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي أما بعد السلام عليكم جميعا ورحمة الله وبركاته أعظم الله أجورنا وأجوركم بمصابنا بأبي عبد الله الحسين عليه الصلاة والسلام. So we saw yesterday that there is something extremely precisely crafted by the heavenly realm in terms of the life that we lead on the face of this earth. Now we took Surah Yusuf and of course Surah Kahf, the verses of Hazrat Khidr and Hazrat Musa salamullah alayhima. And we went through them and we said, well, the whole understanding of how we are leading this life is brought into question by these verses. The meaning of predestination, free will, the meaning of justice, the meaning of having the authority to intervene in the natural workings of human life. Now we want to build on that. What happened was that Joseph, had he not had a dream, he would not have ended up in the prison. Had he not gone to the prison, he would not have been able to intervene and save the whole of that region from death due to drought and famine. So now we ask the question, should the jealousy and the conspiring nature of his brothers be condemned, or should it be condoned? Now the brothers say, Father, seek forgiveness for us, for we were wrong. And they admitted to their guilt. But surely Hazrat Yaqub should be thanking them that had it not been for you, I would have lost Joseph, Benjamin, and all of you. But it doesn't work that way, does it? So in any case, Joseph became the cause for the Israelites to come to Egypt. That then became the cause of the Israelites becoming enslaved. That then became the cause of Moses coming to the scene. That then became the cause, and we are going to go through it today, for them to be released and go to the promised land. And that today has become the cause of what we are witnessing in Gaza and around, and the establishment of the greater Israel. We're seeing that, right? Although I'm not saying what hands are behind this and how they are all conspiring, I'm just looking at it very superficially right now. So now, we will go through the verses about Hazrat Musa and Surah Qasas and analyze that particular event, but as a prelude into it, to create a proper context. You see, the heavens play by rules. They are not taking decisions arbitrarily. You will see this today. The heavens need justification for doing things. So justifications are made. Yusuf had to go to the prison. There was a justification given that Joseph himself asked, send me to prison, it is better than me falling for their seduction. There is a justification there. Can you see that? The heavens need justification. The destruction of the Pharaoh was perfectly justified. So the heavens play by rules. Now, as we explain that, let us bring to mind this verse that we recited earlier on in one of those lectures that got me the heavy criticisms. I'm not going to let it go, am I? Surah Al-Imran 381. And when Allah took the covenant of the prophets, not the messengers, the prophets, whatever I have given you of the book, not the Qur'an, the book, not Torah, not Injil, the Qur'an, the book, bring all of those discussions to mind, and of wisdom. Then there comes to you a messenger from me, that you will bring faith in that messenger and you will assist that messenger. Now that messenger seems to be none other than Hazrat Jibreel. Yes? Because you don't find a place where the prophets from Adam to the last one all gathered in one place, from whom Allah took a covenant. So this is in a realm prior to Adam coming here and these prophets taking birth in the bodily form. Do you take my pledge? They said, yes, we do. We agree to this commitment. He said, bear witness, O prophets, and I too shall bear witness that you have made this covenant with me, and whether you will adhere to it or not. Now this is something that happens prior to everything. So you can see that the story is being planned from way prior to the birth of Adam. Yeah? Now we bring to mind, I'm saying this is a prelude, the story of Iblis and Adam. Now Iblis harbored jealousy. So he was told, prostrate before Adam. It was obvious that Iblis wasn't going to, and he didn't. Adam had that naivety where he saw the ever-living beings who had full knowledge. He was covetous of that position. So he was offered the fruit of the tree. It was obvious that Adam was going to eat it, and he ate it. Both of these scenarios were destined. Both of them were destined, in the sense that they were fully known and there was nothing else that could have happened. The same thing would have happened if it was repeated 1,000 times over. What happened subsequently is very telling. Iblis, what prevented you from prostrating? I'm better than he is. But I am commanding you, Iblis. No, you see this one that you have favored above me? I will mislead him and his progeny, and you will find very few amongst them grateful to you for the bestowal that you have bestowed upon him and upon them. Iblis at that point could have very well said, my Lord, you know it's difficult for me to do this. You are my Lord. In fact, he addresses the Lord and says, فَبِعِزَّتِكَ, I swear by your might. He acknowledges God's might. خَلَقْتَهُ مِنْ طِينٍ وَخَلَقْتَنِي مِنْ نَارٍ. You are the creator. And then he says to the Lord, لَإِنْ أَخَّرْتَنِي إِلَى يَوْمِ يُبْعَثُونَ. If you were to spare me until the day they are resurrected. So he believes that Lord is there. Lord is the creator. Lord is the authority. He holds the reins of destiny, and he's going to bring about the final hour. Despite knowing all of this, Iblis instead says, if you were to spare me, I will misguide all of them and I'll show you how wrong you are. Now on the one hand, he acknowledges the Lord's supreme nature. And he knows that Lord has foreknowledge. He knows Lord has a creative ability, the ability to destroy, so on and so forth. Yet, this is the response Iblis offers. On the other hand, you find Adam. Adam, did I not prevent you from eating from that tree? Adam's response is, O Lord, we have darkened our souls. And if you do not take mercy and forgive us, we will be amongst the losers. These two responses become the prelude for what we are going to do. An introduction into it. Adam's response was radically different to that of Iblis. You see, Iblis could have easily said, Allah, give me time. For your sake, I'll do it, but give me time and help me. Right? Adam says that, give me time, help me, let me overcome this inadequacy that you have revealed within me. But Iblis is saying, no, this inadequacy is a justification for me to now become the adversary. Alright, you got that in mind. Now, let's go to Surah Al-Qasas. Majority of the verses are going to be from Al-Qasas. Surah 28, verse 7. Now look at how carefully the events are being directed, very carefully. And we revealed upon the mother of Moses, but nurse him. When you are fearful for him, place him within the river, obviously in a basket and then into the river, right? And do not be afraid and do not be sorrowful. I know some of you got it. Inna laraduhu ilayki wa ja'iluhu min al-mursalin. Imagine why you would have said just throw him in the river. No, it doesn't happen that way. We will cause him to return to you and we will make him amongst the messengers. Destiny is already known. Destiny is already made. Can you see that? Now the Pharaoh is out to kill every newborn because the astrologers predict that there will come one amongst the Israelites that will free them and topple you. The Pharaoh is going to now fight bitterly against his destiny. Now, as he is killing the newborn, a little basket comes with a little baby. Incidentally, the wife of the Pharaoh sees this, Bibi Asiya, and she doesn't have any children. How convenient is that? That she doesn't have any children. And this is a beautiful little baby. It has been sent to us miraculously as a gift. The one who's going to bring Pharaoh down, for whose sake Pharaoh is killing all the babies, will now be nurtured by Pharaoh himself in his own household. Do you imagine how things are happening? Although that was, according to the biblical text, that was a different Pharaoh, and then the son was the one who was toppled. But anyway, the same lineage, no matter how we take it. And so, the Pharaoh's wife said to him, the coolness of our eyes, Lad, don't kill him. He may be of benefit for us, or we may take him as a son, as a child. وَهُمْ لَا يَشْعُرُونَ. And they were not aware of what they were doing. But who is aware? The ones who are making the destiny and directing all events so carefully. So simultaneously now, the mother of Moses begins to feel the pangs of loneliness. And there is an intervention. وَأَصْبَحَ فُؤَادُ أُمِّ مُوسَى فَارِغًا 28:10. The heart of the mother of Moses became empty. إِنْ كَادَتْ لَتُبْدِي بِهِ. And she was about to reveal that Moses is her son. لَوْلَا أَنْ رَبَطْنَا عَلَى قَلْبِهَا. Had it not been for us grabbing her heart. Don't say it. There's an intervention. Because had she said it, it would have foiled the whole plan that was going to come true after another 30 years or 40 years. Planning is being made 40 years in advance. Every little component is being tweaked, mended, set properly in place. Now, what happens? Look at the phenomenal way in which things are happening. Verse 28:12. Now, there is another intervention from the destiny maker. وَحَرَّمْنَا عَلَيْهِ الْمَرَاضِعَ مِنْ قَبْلِ. And we prevented Moses from suckling milk from all the wet nurses. How interesting is that? He will die. He needs milk. So now Moses' sister comes. فَقَالَتْ. She said, shall I take you to one who will be able to feed him for you and look after him? So Moses is returned to his mother. Now, he's got amnesty and he's back with his mother. The Pharaoh doesn't know what's gone on. Right under his nose. Think into these things very carefully of how things are happening. So now, Moses kills an Israelite. He kills an Egyptian. Then he flees. Then he gets the communication. Then he comes back. He comes back as a messenger. Release the Israelites. They are not going to believe. He threw the staff. It became a snake. They said, fine, this is just a magic trick. Even though they summoned the sorcerers and they couldn't respond, they said, it's fine, it's one of his tricks. Now what happens is something very interesting. Repeated signs were sent, but each sign, as other places the Qur'an says, was bigger than the one previous to it. Now open the verse 12 of Surah Qasas. Surah 7, 133 to 136, Surah Araf. And we sent upon them the flood, and locusts, and lice, and frogs, and blood as distinct signs. Now in another place the Qur'an says each subsequent sign was bigger than the preceding one. And of course the final sign was taking off the firstborn in every household of the Egyptians. But what the Qur'an says is, it's amazing. But they were arrogant and were a criminal people. What the Qur'an is saying is that after every sign, their hearts became more and more hardened. And that's what the text of Exodus is saying, that their hearts will become hardened after every sign. Why? Why are their hearts becoming hardened after every sign? Look at the next verse. وَلَمَّا وَقَعَ عَلَيْهِمُ الرِّجْزُ. And whenever the punishment came upon them, قَالُوا يَا مُوسَى ادْعُ لَنَا رَبَّكَ بِمَا عَهِدَ عِنْدَكَ. Moses, call your Lord with the sort of correspondence you have with him. لَإِنْ كَشَفْتَ عَنَّا الرِّجْزَ لَنُؤْمِنَنَّ لَكَ. If you were to remove the punishment, we will bring faith in you. وَلَنُرْسِلَنَّ مَعَكَ بَنِي إِسْرَائِيلَ. And we will send the Israelites with you. So after every punishment, this is what they were saying. Now what was happening simultaneously is that the heaven, forgive me for saying heavens, the destiny maker, was saying, look, we are playing by the book, by the rules. Yes, we've given you 1 warning, 2 warning, 3 warning, 4 warning. Can you see this? The heavens are playing by rules. It's not arbitrary. There are rules going on here. And we need to awaken that there are rules at play in this world and how things happen. فَلَمَّا كَشَفْنَا عَنْهُمُ الرِّجْزَ. And when we took away the punishment from them, إِلَىٰ أَجَلٍ هُمْ بَالِغُوهُ, to an appointed time that they were going to reach. So the heavens know that the trajectory is there. Each one of the signs will harden them further. Each one of their chances will be removed. And they will eventually arrive at a point where we will have the justification of destroying them. Isn't that striking? Until they come to a point that they are sure to come to. Anyway. فَانْتَقَمْنَا مِنْهُمْ فَأَغْرَقْنَاهُمْ فِي الْيَمِّ. We took revenge from them and we drowned them within the Yam, sea. بِأَنَّهُمْ كَذَّبُوا بِآيَاتِنَا. Because they belied our signs. They sent 10 signs, right? 9 signs. They belied our signs, and that gives us a justification. They became hardened in their hearts. They belied the signs. Everything was coming together. Now there is a perfect, legitimate reason. Don't we do this today as well? We give states warnings, don't do this, then a second warning, then a third warning, and that's all right. There you go. By the United Nations Charter, this is now a preemptive attack and we are justified. We do that, don't we? The heavens play by the same rule book. وَكَانُوا عَنْهَا غَافِلِينَ. And they were totally unaware. So here we are seeing that there is a predestined system which is being directed. There are people who are set to be destroyed, but they will have to provide the justification for their own destruction. Now let's add to this. Surah Tawbah, Surah 9, verse 51. Now this is the prophets speaking, or the believers being told to speak, but you will find the prophets speak like this. As Ibrahim Salamullah alayh says a similar thing. إِنَّهُ لَن يُصِيبَنَا إِلَّا مَا كَتَبَ اللَّهُ لَنَا هُوَ مَوْلَانَا. Nothing, no tribulation will befall us save what Allah has written for us. So these enlightened souls know that this has been prescribed and it's going to happen to us. You've got that? Then, Surah 57, verses 22. Don't look at 23 for now. Verse 22. ما أصاب من مصيبة في الأرض ولا في أنفسكم. No tribulation will come upon you within the earth or upon your souls. إلا في كتاب, save that it has already been prescribed in a book, من قبل أن نبرأها, before we send it forth. So we are seeing a universe in which everything is planned. Everything is happening, and it is happening for a reason, and it is meant to happen. Can you see that? So the question of only if this and only if that does not occur at all. There is no question of that. You are destined to lose your money. It was meant to happen. It was done before you took birth. The motion was set in place. And the most obvious one is you're destined to marry the one you're going to marry. So don't cry now, you know. I told a woman, I said, well, you've chose him in, pre-worldly state. He said, how could I have done that? She said, how could I have chosen somebody like him? Now you might ask, but Pharaoh could have reacted differently, right? Pharaoh could have reacted differently. I want to take you through this now. Think about this, how deep the story is. We talk about nature and nurture, right? We say by nature everybody's on the fitrah of Islam, and nurture they become bad. We say that, don't we? We don't. It's a full-scale failure of understanding of that hadith, by the way. Adam had two sons, Habil and Qabil, right? With the assumption that they were the first of the human species on earth, right? Habil is an obedient creature of God. Qabil is filled with jealousy. Who taught him jealousy? Who nurtured him in jealousy? Tell me, where did the jealousy come from? They are sons of Adam and Hawa, the purest of beings, right? Who told Habil to be good and Qabil to have jealousy? And even if there's a whole society around us, can they evoke jealousy internally? No matter how much you condition a person, you cannot make them feel something. And this is a challenge. If there's a good-hearted soul, you can never make them into a criminal, no matter what the environment around them may be. That's an inner state. What brought about jealousy within the heart of Qabil? That he went and killed his brother in a rage through jealousy. You will see that you have children, and your children will all be different. You will see their strengths, you will see their weaknesses. You will see one is patient, the other one is impatient. One is angry, one is calm. One is intelligent, and the other one is a Maulana like me. Don't take these things seriously, man. So these children are all different. Who teaches them this? Pharaoh, with the inner constitution that he had, was bound to say the things that he said and was bound to do the things he did. Can you see that? How is Pharaoh to be blamed? Right? How can you blame a criminal when they already are predisposed in that way? Imam Ali says, وَأَسْعَدُهُ عَلَى ذَلِكَ الْقَضَاءِ I've made mistakes, and qada, destiny, has assisted me in revealing those mistakes. It's a phenomenal story, if I can finish it today, by the way. It's a phenomenal story, otherwise we'll leave it till next year, yeah? And then we have the father of Ibrahim. Ibrahim is the father of Muslims. He is the greatest imam humanity has ever produced, right? Inni ja'aluka linnasi imama, linnas, not only the people around him. Today, the overall father of the people of Abrahamic faith is who? Is Ibrahim. He is their imam. And in fact, I also include the Hindus, Jains, Buddhists, all of them under Ibrahim. Because whatever was revealed to Ibrahim, we believe in whatever was revealed to Ibrahim. So Ibrahim is the father of mankind, and he is the imam of the mankind, aside from Adam and Nuh. They were fathers, he is the imam, the son of Nabi Nuh. Don't ask me about your son. إِنَّهُ عَمَلٌ غَيْرُ صَالِحٍ He doesn't have righteous deeds. Otherwise you will become of the ignorant people. No, don't ask me again. Son of Nabi Nuh, father of Ibrahim, son of Adam, they are all predisposed. So on the one hand, you are seeing the external destiny is set. The destiny maker is steering the destiny. At every point, like mother of Moses, when she was about to foil the plan, her heart was gripped. And in order to relieve her of that pain, Moses was prevented from drinking milk from any woman so that he can go back to the mother of Moses so she can keep her calm and not expose things. Can you see that? Interventions at every point. The Pharaoh is being challenged. I am your God. How is he going to accept any other God? He is not going to. You give him signs, he's going to become more stifled in his heart, more arrogant, more bitter, more enraged. He was meant to do all of those things by the external destiny and internal destiny. Now to complicate this further, look at the verse, Surah 35, verse 15. Ya ayyuhan nas antum fuqara ila Allah wallahu huwal ghaniyyul hamid. O people, you are in dire need of Allah. Allah is needless and praiseworthy. If you're needless and you're praiseworthy, then what is this scenario that we are seeing? Can you see this? According to the analysis I've given, God is most oppressive. Yes? Planning destiny, giving people different aptitudes. Can you see this? It doesn't make sense unless you bring in a pre-worldly existence where things have happened differently. Yeah? Unless you add in the pre-worldly existence. I'll leave you to add all of those things in yourselves. Now, Surah 4, verse 40, to complicate it even further. Inna Allah la yadlimu mithqala dharra. Allah does not oppress even an ounce or a seed weight of a deed. The next verse, Al-Imran 3, 182. ذَلِكَ بِمَا قَدَّمَتْ أَيْدِيكُمْ وَأَنَّ اللَّهَ لَيْسَ بِظَلَّامٍ لِلْعَبِيدِ. You're facing this chastisement because of what you have done. And Allah is never oppressive to His servants. Now, how does that make sense? How does that make sense? We come here with predisposed characteristics, strengths and weaknesses. We are born into families we did not choose, into genders we don't understand that we chose them, into religions we didn't choose, into social circumstances that we didn't choose, into economic statuses that we didn't choose. Everything was all designed. We came with our predisposed natures. We were bound to do what we did. The same thing Iblis is saying. I was bound to do this. You know that. Bima aghwaytani, O Allah. In a way that you have deceived me, I will deceive them all. He's using that word, Bima aghwaytani. The way you deceived me, I'll deceive them all. You set a snare and a trap and I fell for it. Can you see that? But Adam did not give the same response, did he? Adam should have said, I'm just a kid. I'm just a child, innocent child. What do you expect me to do? Of course I would have eaten it. But Adam doesn't. Adam's response is radically different. Adam says, you exposed what was going on in there. And then you get these verses that every soul will be recompensed precisely what they are doing. Yes? So we have gotten until here. I'm going to take just a little bit more of this. We may not finish this. So here, Quran gives other rules of destiny as well. The first is that He can change the physical destiny at any point. So now the speaker in the Quran is saying this, that there are destinies, you're going to follow it through. وَلَقَدْ ذَرَأْنَا لِجَهَنَّمْ كَثِيرٍ. We have made for hell many jinn and men. They have no hearts, eyes and ears with which they see not. And we are seeing this played out. But then the Quran makes an exception. يَمْحُ اللَّهُ مَا يَشَاءُ وَيُثْبِتُ وَعِنْدَهُ أُمُّ الْكِتَابِ. God wipes clean what He wants and He makes firm, and He is the mother of all books. So we know immediately that even the destiny makers do not know what the final destiny will turn out to be. Right? Because that's in the hands of Allah. And that's why we are told never, ever, ever lose hope. And we are told another thing in the Qur'an, that the inner destiny is yet to be made. Think about this. If an all-loving God created us with full foreknowledge of where we were headed to, and He still creates us, then that would be very unjust, wouldn't it? And this world would not be an opportunity, and we would not have to thank Him for it. Right? You already knew. Why let us play games? Just put us in heaven or hell. The Prophet said, each one of you simultaneously has a place in heaven and a place in hell. You will decide which one you acquire and which one you vacate. It's up to you. Now look at the Quran. It's a phenomenal verse. I'm cutting through a lot of discussion here. Surah Al-Imran, Surah 3, verse 142. Now I know the Mufassirin will give their twist to this, but I want us to read it literally. Am hasibtum an tadkhulul jannah. Do you imagine that you will enter into paradise? Walamma ya'lamillah. And Allah has yet to know. Allah has yet to know. Who amongst you will struggle and are patient? So the inner destiny is not set. Now what does that mean? You see, last year or 2 years ago we stated that there's no such thing as free will. We have choices, but those choices are directed. There aren't any choices that are free. They are all directed. We gave an example that after the lecture finishes here, the program is set. There will be matam, ziyarah and salah. Now whoever feels hot, their inner being will prompt them to go out. Some of us might feel the lack of nicotine, so they will go out early to smoke. And they like their tea with the cigarette, so they will do that, and they will say, I can miss the adhan and come and join the salah in the first rakat. They're making all these choices, but all of their choices are being directed. They could not have made but that choice. They will not make but that very choice. And then there will be vegetarian and meat, right? Option, if there are. Those who feel that it is unethical to eat meat will go for the vegetarian. It's not because they want to. That's the only choice they can make. I'm sorry I'm pointing in that direction because I know who it is. And then others will stay longer, others will stay short. Some have to take their kids back to school tomorrow and they're asking me, why don't you finish it now? I know. They will run away quickly, and others who have nothing better to do will sit with me. All these choices are directed. None of them are free choices. So where is the freedom? Where is the freedom? I'm going to say two things here. I'm going to leave it because I don't have time. There are two places that we need to examine. The first is, destiny is made at the level of interaction. How we interact with the situation. And the other is choices made at the level of neutrality. Now, if we had an AI being, yes, and we could scan into its brain, know everything about it, we will be able to tell that exactly what that AI robot will do at every point. We know every piece of information, every choice, every variable, and we'll be able to gauge precisely what it's going to do. Now, if that robot carries on doing it, then nothing of that robot is free. They are making choices and they're interacting with it, either in a good way or in an adverse way, in which case the inner destinies are being made without their discretion. On the other hand, if a person can come out of that condition for a moment assess the choice, and from the point of neutrality make the decision, then that becomes a free choice in that limitation. And as soon as they make that free choice, destiny will be reshaped eternally in that moment. And for as long as they can stay in that moment of neutrality, they are constantly shaping and reshaping their destiny. And I don't know if that's come through. But let us say, I'm outside. I am offered, let's say, somebody wants to have a conversation with me. Now they know how I'm going to respond because it's a mechanical reaction. But if at that point I can just pause, and then measure my words. Those words that I will give out are all destined. But now they are destined through that state of neutrality. But they're still destined. But that is an awakened choice. That is more of a free choice. That's the first thing. The second thing is how I interact now, subsequently, with the ensuing result. That will then make me inside or break me. There you go. You've got two people, Umar ibn Sa'd and Hur ibn Yazid al-Riyahi. Umar ibn Sa'd said, I stand to lose the land of Ray if I kill Hussein. I will kill him, repent for 2 years. Hur says, I stand to incur the displeasure of God if I kill Hussein. I will join him. Both of them were destined to die. Hur was destined to die at a particular moment on the day of Ashura, and he died. It was entirely his choice whether he dies on that side or he dies on this side. He made a free-willed choice in that moment, that limitation of freedom that he had. And he interacted with it. And look at that. Within an instance, a person who would have been condemned as the biggest criminal in the story of Imam Hussein, yes, becomes the biggest icon of liberation and freedom. How the inner destiny is changed. Can you see this? He vacates his seat from hell and acquires the highest rank in paradise. Are you seeing that? Umar ibn Sa'd died before receiving the land of Ray, as you know the story. Now, what makes that choice ours? What makes that choice ours? How does that choice impact us? You see, we are in a phenomenally sophisticated world. The words that I'm speaking now, I will be responsible for them. If the Maulanas ever listen to these lectures, I will be cursed. And I will say I deserve it because I take the ownership of the words that I'm saying. I will not construct a philosophical argument. Well, I had read these books and the people in front of me were feeling thoroughly entertained, so I got carried away. It's their fault. I was programmed to say whatever I said. I'm not going to say that. Why? Because as I speak, I take ownership of what I'm saying and my choices. Even though whatever I'm saying to you is meant to be said. I can't do anything but say whatever I'm saying today. Think of it carefully. But because I take ownership at every point, immediately as I take ownership, it impacts me from within. Yes? It's my action. And we can see the distinction here very easily. If a person is speaking in a sleep state, they will not take ownership. Can you see that? Well, I'm sorry, I don't know what I was saying. You've phoned me at 2 o'clock in the morning. I didn't know I said all these bad things to you, right? But in the daytime, if I were to shout and scream and curse, I have to take ownership because I am awake. And as soon as I say I'm taking ownership, that's it. The impact becomes incumbent upon me. So the whole world here, the whole game that is being played out, in that is an opportunity for us to awaken and make ourselves. The circumstances are as they are supposed to be. Nothing will change unless the destiny maker wants to change it. But even if he changes any component, immediately a new eternal destiny will be made in the moment. We can't do anything about that. Now, if you go back to that verse that we cited earlier, Surah Hadid 57, 22, 23. We read the first part of it, now read the second part. No tribulations befalls you within the earth or within your souls, save that it is prescribed within a book before the tribulation comes upon you. Why? Why? Look at the response that is coming. So that you may not become boastful at what comes towards you, and you may not become defeated at what you lose. These things are meant to happen. They are supposed to challenge you, for you to be challenged, and for you to be internally growing. Don't get boastful. Don't get defeated. These things are meant to happen. Modify your inner being through it all. It's talking about interacting. That is the point that we are all about, to interact befittingly. Those free choices in the state of neutrality and befitting interactions. So all of you now, you never interacted properly with my lectures. The amount of criticism that I got, it was an opportunity for you all that you missed. It's not too late though, tonight's lecture and tomorrow's, don't criticize me, yeah? Just say, Alhamdulillah, what a wonderful lecture. You know I'm joking, right? But imagine the one who really understood this. The one who really, really understood this. Hussein ibn Ali. In his dua, and you see this on the day of Ashura as well. He says, Allah, bring me to a place where I do not plead with you to postpone a destiny that you have chosen to hasten. And I do not ask you to hasten a destiny that you have chosen to postpone. Allow me to accept everything as it is and to grow through it all. How phenomenal is Hussein. At that point he prays, and he comes to the point where he says, "O Lord, I am well pleased with your decree." What decree? Abbas' arms being torn, O Hussein, that decree? We come to this grand person. As is a tribute to him, think of how grand he was. Bashir calls out, Ya Ahla Yathraba, O people of Yathrib, you have no place in Medina today. Hussein has been killed and his son waits at the outskirts. An old woman comes, Bashir, silence. How can such a news be truthful? O maid of God, indeed, Hussein has been killed. Where was my Abbas? Your Abbas was killed. Who can face my Abbas? Through treachery, his arms were taken from him, and a metal pole was struck on the back of his head, and he descended upon the earth. He says, Abbas, by God, had your sword been in your hand, no one would have defeated you or killed Hussein. We hear about the lofty stature of Abbas, Salamullah alayhi. And in his description, it is said, Kal Jabalil Azim. He was like a lofty mountain. وَقَلْبُهُ كَالطَّوْدِ الْجَسِيمِ. And his heart was like a momentous wave. لأنه كان فارسا حماما وبطلا ضرغاما. He was a fearless warrior and a gallant fighter. He would advance into the ranks of the enemies, tearing us apart their rows in the midst of showering arrows. That was Abbas. When Abbas's grave became damaged through water, Sayyid Bahrul Ulum took a worker with him to mend the grave of Abbas. He said, O Sayyid, if it is not disrespectful, may I pose a question? He said, indeed. He said, do you not narrate that Abbas was of such a lofty stature? Indeed. That when he ascended upon his steed, his feet may touch the ground. Yes. Then why is his grave so small? Baharul Ulum struck his forehead upon the grave of Abbas and cried out, فَقَطَعُوهُ إِرْبًا إِرْبًا. They tore him into pieces. Abu al-Fadl, Saqi, Hamilul Liwa, Qamar Bani Hashim. Such are his names. In the Battle of Siffin, as an honor to this man who inspires courage, defiance, bravery, by Allah. Mention the name of Abbas and Hussein, and every soul will be willing to take upon its chest swords and arrows, without a doubt. In the Battle of Siffin, Imam Ali would cover his face with a face mask so that in single combat, the enemies could challenge him. As soon as they would see it's Ali, they would run away. There came a warrior, demanded his equal. Abbas killed him with such ease. There was commotion that this is Ali, disguised behind the face mask. Approach him not. As this commotion was going on, Ali rode behind and he took hold of the face mask of Abbas. He said, Ana Ali ibn Abi Talib. I am Ali, the son of Abu Talib. And as he unveiled Abbas, it was as if the full moon was coming and appearing from behind dark clouds. وَهَذَا Abbas Qamar Bani Hashim. This is Abbas, the shining moon of the Hashimis. When the spoils of war were brought in the court of Yazid, he looked at a standard and he stood from his chair. Whose standard is that? It is the standard of Abbas. لَقَدْ أَبَيْتَ اللَّعَنْ يَا Abbas, Yazid said. You refuse surrender, O Abbas. Do you not see how the standard is torn in every place, save for the place where the hand held the standard? هَكَذَا نُصْرَةُ الْأَخْ لِأَخِيهِ. This is how a brother assists his brother. Abbas, his true strength is not in his arms, but in his will. Can you imagine a man who is a pillar, a savior, a shield for Hussein and his family? Can you imagine such a man? Whenever there were cries of joy within the army of the enemy, Shimr would ask, who has fallen? They would say such and such, such and such. Abbas still lives, he would ask. Then there were great cries of joy and jubilation. Who has fallen at Al-Qama? Abbas has fallen. Suddenly a smile appears on his lips. Now Hussein will not escape. Imagine a man that renowned. His right arm is severed. And instead of lamenting, he says, Wallah law qata'atum yamini. By Allah, even if you sever my right arm, inni abadan wahami an dini. I will continue defending my religion. And my brother, the son of the messenger, they cut his left arm and he cries out, O soul, through their treachery, they have severed your left arm. Fear not death and take the good tidings of the Rahman and the Jabbar. Such is Abbas. It is the time before daybreak. Hussein has ordered them to dig a trench and to fill it with firewood, lest the enemy mount an attack from the rear of the tents. Abbas is on his steed, patrolling. Zuhair ibn Qayn comes. He said, O Abbas. He said, Zuhair, away from me. It is a sensitive moment. O Abbas, there is something about your father I must tell you. He said, in reverence of my father Zuhair, be quick. He said, Abbas, do you know why your father sought you? It was for a day like this. Abbas in a rage. He said, Zuhair, do you incite me? Somebody called out, Hussein, have you lit your own fire before hell? Abbas went into the battlefield, killed many of them, caught up with the person who had uttered these words and beheaded him. Then he came back, he said, Zuhair, don't incite me. Do what you have to do. Abbas is the finest standard bearer. He fights with Hussein all day. Then comes to Hussein and says, oh brother, allow me to fight with your enemies. Life has become constricted upon me. I cannot withstand your state. Hussein looks into the eyes of Abbas. Ya Abbas, benafsi anta ya Abbas. May my life be given for you, O Abbas. Ida dhahabta, O Abbas, if you go, the morale of my army will break. Hussein, what army? There were cries from the tents. Abbas take news as if a child has died of thirst. Abbas goes, and where the water skins were kept, little children are rubbing empty water skins upon their tummies in order for the dampness of the water skin to relieve them of their thirst. My children, fear not. I will bring you back some water. Hussein, allow me to bring some water back for them. Hussein looked at him, knowing full well his Abbas will not return. Hussein kisses him upon his forehead. Abbas looks towards the sky. My Lord, I wish to fulfill my promise. As Abbas made way, Hussein came after him. The enemies attacked them. Hussein got injured. Abbas looked back. Hussein, go back to the tents. Let me be. Abbas goes onwards, mounts an attack upon the enemies, removes them, enters within the Euphrates. He cups water in his hand, draws it near to his mouth. Ya nafsu ba'd al-Husayn yahuni. O soul, you have little worth after Hussein. This is Hussein surrounded by death. Shall you partake of the cold water? Then in rage, Wallah ma hada fi'alu dini. He spills the water. He fills the water skin, emerges from the alqama, makes his direction towards the tent. As he fights, his arm is struck from behind the tree. He fights with his left arm and the water skin upon his shoulder. His left arm is struck. He grabs the water skin in his mouth and directs his steed towards the tent. In the shower of arrows that were released, the water skin got punctured and the water flowed. At this point, Abbas stopped his steed and just remained there. They surrounded him from all directions. And as Abbas was struck, the horse went out of control. And Abbas fell at a point. When they heard this, they let out the cries. Hussein looked onwards and he said, Allah lan inkasara dhahri wa qallat hilati. Zuljana, take me to my brother. Defeated Hussein on the back of Zuljana. Zuljana stopped. Have you found my Abbas? He alights his horse. Zuljana, my Abbas is not here. Then he sees the severed arm of Abbas and he cries out, Wa Abbasa. He sees Abbas at a distance, goes to him. As he begins to lift the head of Abbas, Abbas is saying something. Oh man, wait for a moment. Allow my brother to come to me first. Abbas, it is I, your brother. Oh brother, I see you not, for there is a wound within my eye. Hussein clasps the head of Abbas to his chest and begins to cry out aloud. The enemies witness this and begin to cry. You cry now? After taking him away from me? As Hussein laments, there are tears in the eyes of Abbas. What brings grief to your soul, O Abbas? Oh brother, how may I not cry when I know that very soon you are to be beheaded upon a burning thirst, and there shall be none who will come to lift your head from the dust and cleanse your face. After a little while, Abbas feels a tug. He says, Oh brother, what is this that you do? Oh Abbas, allow me to take you back to the tents. He said, Oh brother, let me be. I feel embarrassed from your sakina. And if Zainab sees this, her morale will break. Abbas breathes his last. Hussein makes his way back to the tents. As he is going back, we read that Sakina comes running to Hussein. She grabs hold of his legs and says, Oh father, do you bring any news of my uncle Abbas? His life has been snatched from him, O child. Zainab said, Why did you not bring my Abbas back to me? He was fearful of you and your resolve, O Zainab. She slaps her face and cries out, Wa Abbasa, wa qillata nasara. Matem Hussein.
आले इमरान कहाँ और जिंदान कहाँ, ये बहन कैद हुई तू ना आया गाजी, जब रिदा सर से छिनी मैं सदा देती रही तू ना आया गाजी, जब रिदा सर से छिनी मैं सदा देती रही तू ना आया गाजी। हमको पानी ना मिले तेरी खुशबू तो रहे, तेरे बाजू ना कटें चाहे मशकी जाची दे, ये मगर हो ना सका तेरे बाजू हैं जुदा, मुझ पे है तिश्ना लबी तू ना आया गाजी, जब रिदा सर से छिनी मैं सदा देती रही तू ना आया गाजी। धूप में तू था शजर तुझसे आबाद था घर, है बरहना मेरा सर क्या नहीं तुझको खबर ऐ अलमदार वफा, इस बहन को बाखुदा तुझसे ढारस थी बड़ी, तू ना आया गाजी। जब रिदा सर से छिनी मैं सदा देती रही, तू ना आया गाजी। क्या कहूँ शेर मेरे बेरिदा हमको लिए, ये मुसलमान सारे शहर दर शहर गए। खलकते कूफा कभी, खलकते शाम कभी, और हाँ हम पे हंसी, तू ना आया गाजी। जब रिदा सर से छिनी मैं सदा देती रही, तू ना आया गाजी। कितनी बेबस थी बहन ऐ शहनशाह वफा, नाम ले ले के मेरा जब ये जालिम ने कहा। नाज था जिस पे तुझे अब बुलाओ ना उसे, और मैं रोती रही, तू ना आया गाजी। जब रिदा सर से छिनी मैं सदा देती रही, तू ना आया गाजी। कैद खाने में कज़ा जब सकीना को मिली, देख के कुर्ते का कफन बच्ची दफनाई गई। उस घड़ी नाम तेरा सूरत नादे अली, दुख में दोहराती रही, तू ना आया गाजी। जब रिदा सर से छिनी मैं सदा देती रही, तू ना आया गाजी। सलवात अल्लाहुम्मा सल्ली अला मुहम्मद व आले मुहम्मद।
मुतवज्जह ज़ियारत। अस्सलामु अलैका या नबी अल्लाह, अस्सलामु अलैका या रसूल अल्लाह, अस्सलामु अलैका या अमीर अल-मुअमिनीन, अस्सलामु अलैकी या फ़ातिमत अज़-ज़हरा सय्यदती निसाइल आलमीन, अस्सलामु अलैकी या खदीजत अल-कुबरा उम्मुल मुअमिनीन, अस्सलामु अलैका या अय्युहल हसनुल मुज्तबा, अस्सलामु अलैका या अबा अब्दिल्लाह वअला अल-अरवाह अल्लती हल्लत बिफनाइक वअनाखत बिरहलिक अलैका मिन्नी जमीअन सलामुल्लाह अबदन मा बक़ीत व बक़िय अल-लैल वन-नहार वला जअलहु अल्लाहु आखिर अल-अहद मिन्नी लिज़ियारतिकुम। अस्सलामु अला अल-हुसैन वअला अली इब्न अल-हुसैन वअला औलाद अल-हुसैन वअला सहाब अल-हुसैन वअला अख़वात अल-हुसैन। अस्सलामु अलैकुम या शुहदाए करबला व उसराए करबला जमीअन व रहमतुल्लाहि व बरकातुहू। अस्सलामु अलैका या मौला या इब्न मौला, अस्सलामु अलैका या गरीब अल-गुरबा, अस्सलामु अलैका या मुईन अल-ज़ुअफ़ाए वल-फ़ुक़रा, अस्सुल्तान अबुल हसन मौलाना अली इब्न मूसा ar-रिज़ा, कुन शफ़ीअना व शफ़ीअ वालिदैना फ़ी यौमिल जज़ा। सलामुल्लाहि अला आबाइका as-सबअति व अबनाइका al-अर्बअ वअला उख्तिका फ़ातिमता अल-मअसूमा जमीअन व रहमतुल्लाहि व बरकातुहू। अस्सलामु अलैका या हुज्जतल्लाह या इब्न अल-हसन या साहिब अल-अस्र वज़्ज़मान, आजरक अल्लाहु फ़ी मुसीबति जद्दिका अल-हुसैन, السلام عليك يا خليفة الرحمن. السلام عليك يا شريك القرآن. السلام عليك يا كعبة الإيمان. السلام عليك يا إمامي وإمام الإنس والجان. أجر الله تعالى فرجك وسهل الله مخرجك واجعلنا من آوانك وأنصارك والمستشهدين بين يديك. السلام عليكم يا أهل بيت النبوة جميعا ورحمة الله وبركاته. الفاتحة مع الصلوات.